The photo mode. A fun little distraction for the people who are stuck in a situation where they want to make good pictures but lack the equipment or the surroundings are kind of boring. It has been around for a while, enjoying growing popularity. My personal interest in it can be traced back to Alan Wake with its no HUD option, which I highly recommend trying out. Now we're getting titles exploring the photography part a bit more, dropping you in a place with a camera and tasking you to get certain pictures. And this is also where Umurangi generation falls into, only stringing those photo ops together with a narrative and an impressive set of options to make those pictures look exactly like how you want them to. That alone is pretty impressive, but is it enough to make this a compelling buy for $15? Umurangi generation takes place in the walled-off city of Tauranga, New Zealand, sometime after 2047. You are an unnamed courier working for the Tauranga Express. Throughout the game you will be sent to various locations to complete deliveries and take pictures while you're at it as the events surrounding a kaiju situation unfold around you. The game takes the route of only telling you the story with the environment and newspapers scattered around, meaning you actively have to look for the story. While good for the most part and very fitting for a game about exploring photography, I would have liked to get a newspaper print after a complete delivery, where you could see how the people get along with that whole kaiju thing hanging over them and get a better picture of the world. The visuals evoke a neo-noir style, with simplistic faces, jagged models, and an intentionally lower texture quality. It is a more unique art style which has a very appealing quality to it. Sadly, the game isn't optimized very well. In the more populated areas, the frame rate tends to go down very often, which can get one out of the experience. There is also a problem with environmental variety. If you prefer landscapes beside the concrete, then sadly, you're out of luck as there are next to no landscape levels. You're gonna have to live with walls. This is something that DLC has to solve later on. As it is a game about photography, you're only equipped with a camera and are tasked with taking certain pictures that include things like 2 boomboxes or a skull and a knife. How you want to take those pictures is up to you. Many of those tasks can be completed any way you see fit, while some require a certain distance or specific lens when taking the picture. On top of that, there are bonus objectives like recreate this postcard, take a picture of all your friends in it, or finish a level within a 10-minute window. Completing all these nets you new equipment like lenses or camera upgrades that give your pictures a new touch and make it easier for you to complete objectives. So it's recommended to go ahead and finish everything first before moving on, which, with a constant 10-minute limit for delivery, kind of becomes a mad dash where you will have to throw away artistic sense to reach all those bonus objectives in time. If you just want to run through everything, you will also be done with all 9 levels in about 2 hours and be bored afterwards. So bringing in a creative potential is required for long-term enjoyment, as that ties into the game's main selling point and its best feature. When you take a picture, you can customize it with various filters that you unlock during the game, which open up the possibilities for your pictures more and more. Soon your pictures can turn from regular looking to out there experiences. And that is where the fun begins. The soundtrack itself is pretty damn good. The composer, YouTuber Thor High Heels under the alias out of Nomura, made a very good soundtrack that fits very well into the style of the game. The main issue lies with the implementation of it. A couple of songs have already been in other albums of the composer and sometimes don't seem to fit well with the scenario of the level, giving it rather more of a playlist feeling than adding to the atmosphere. A longer custom-made track with a separate option on subsequent visits would have helped out with giving that first playthrough more of an oomph. Umurangi Generation is a game with heart, and a solid game about photography that I as a photo mode enthusiast really enjoy. It has some issues in terms of variety, and you should also be ready for the jank that comes with one-man development, which can get one out of the flow, but if you enjoy taking pictures and want to explore it with a set of creative tools, Umurangi Generation is a recommendation at full price. If you're new to photography or are still undecided, you should try out the demo first and see for yourself. But I want to say one thing, I'm glad that a game like Umurangi Generation exists. Not because it made me any more interested in photography than before, I still don't have the equipment and my environment is still boring, but because of how it captured this feeling of being a photographer. You don't see that all too often.